So the biggest thing right now is the standings. So let me go to that. Half a game, game and a half, and those two straight losses to end the series against the Dodgers. Then they go to San Diego, where San Diego is not. They lost yesterday, but they've not been bad, and they're playing at home, where they're 20 games above 500. Against teams above 500, they are not good. They are 7 games under. They are 38 and 45. All three of the teams that are currently in the wild card spots are not good. None of them are good against teams above 500. But at home, they are all fantastic. So that's a big one right there. Excuse me. The Mets are not good on the road, so they'll have to, with them being the final wild card, I'm going to have the unfortunate circumstance of revealing they will have to travel for the first round of the playoffs for the wild card. Because it's currently going to be San Diego, Chicago. Presumably, best record is going to be the Brewers, and they'll face Philadelphia. And it'll be, I think, the Dodgers versus either the Mets or the Reds. We will find out sooner than later, with there only being 4 games left, 3 after today. And the Reds end up going to face Milwaukee to finish the season. So their biggest thing is keeping Milwaukee under wraps until the playoffs. However, this is any team's race right now. You never know what's going to happen. Anything can happen in this last 3-game set. Dodgers thankfully clinched the West today. Because with the Padres losing yesterday, the Dodgers do clinch against Arizona. So, 4th to last day of the season, you got the Dodgers clinching. And the Phillies and Brewers already clinched their spots. And then the Cubs and Padres are clinched on their end. So, unfortunately, due to the draft lottery being random now, the team that's 43 and 115 is not going to have the first overall pick. However, there's a high chance they will. Longest streaks in the league right now are currently the White Sox, having lost 4 straight, and the Tigers, who are looking to break their 8-game losing streak. Longest winning streaks have been the Mariners, who came on strong to beat an Astros team out of the division, which you really don't see a 90-win team win the division anymore, but they'll face Colorado tonight and see if they can make a chase out of this. As I head back to the Red Sox and the Blue Jays, the Red Sox go down in order. They're being no hit right now, which is even worse. Oh, that is not good. That is really bad, in fact. The Blue Jays are currently doing a bullpen game, which you rarely see this happen, especially this late in the season. Screen. And there you go. Okay, that's better. Currently, there's a perfect game being pitched against the Red Sox right now. While I don't want to jinx anything, I know a certain person who would rather they didn't. And I know he's not going to be too happy if I talk about this, but what can you do when you only have so much time on your hands? Especially considering you know what's going to happen if they don't clinch tonight. So this is a big one here for especially in Boston. Because Toronto loaded the bases against Bayo in the bottom of the third. Their biggest chance. Off to Springer, fly out by Luke's, single by Guerrero Jr., and Barger's going to walk, and then Santander, who had 42 home runs last season, takes strike 3 on a pitch that's right on the inside edge. So, excuse me. Bayo's thrown 65 pitches now through 5 innings and into his 5th inning of work. Gus Varland has pitched 2 innings, and then Eric Lauer's coming in pitched 3 innings. So, in a bullpen game where you have the Blue Jays who have already clinched, and we haven't had a no-hitter all season long. The closest one was Yamamoto, and he did it twice in the last couple of weeks. But both times it was ruined by the Dodgers bullpen. So, I know no one's watching. I know. But my biggest thing right now is this. It's not whether or not you're paying attention. It's whether or not you see something like this late in the year. Not even no-hitter wise. In particular, especially with a guy as Bayo gets Heineman on the front leg, it looks like, with a sinker. He'll have a nice strawberry in his leg later, but back to what I was saying, there's a perfect game going on, and I know for Boston's sake, as looks like a 4-6-3 double play as Springer grounds into a double play to cancel out that rally. Actually, it's a 1-4-3 as Bayo got a ball back to him and gets 2 outs. So, Bayo is currently looking for the win if he gets a couple runs on the board right now, but this is going to be Boston's biggest issue right here. If you can't get on base against perennial playoff contenders, you're going to be in big trouble. Especially right here. So you never know. Then he immediately gets 2 strikes on Luke's, who made it to third base a couple innings ago. He's been on base just once. He tripled his first at bat, and he's scored. Let's see. Yeah, he's tripled and he's flown out. So he's had a semi-productive day at the plate. He was the second batter of the game and he tripled. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 balls have been out of the infield so far, and they faced the minimum so far through 5 innings. So 15 up, 15 down. And of course, you can't have a big game like this without a big diving play. So Luke's does end up flying out to center field to end the 5th inning. We head to the 6th. We're halfway through now. And there's a perfect game going on. No hitter watch. I think it's officially a no hitter watch. as the White Sox do take the lead against the Yankees 3-1 in the top of the fifth. Go over there now. Looks like the Yankees got a run in the first. White Sox answered back in the second inning. And then, the White Sox get a 2-run homer from Michael A. Taylor. Now, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time. He's currently he's hitting 200 for the White Sox. His OPS is 626, 9 home runs, 34 RBIs, struck out 109 times, but his biggest hit of the season is his 10th home run of the year. As that gives the Yankees a 2-run deficit to think about right now. Because this is actually really big for the Red Sox as well, because the Yankees have clinched the wild card, but they're only 90-68. The Red Sox are looking for win number 88. Rodon is on the mound for the Yankees. He's facing this young White Sox lineup who finished with 121 losses last season, but they're already closing in on 60 this year. 4 games left. And I think this is big Davis Martin. 6'2", 215 pounds, 28 years old. Pitched last season for the White Sox, went just 0-5. Much better this season, 7-10 ERA, under 4. Has allowed 134 hits, but leads the team in strikeouts and walks. So he is nothing if not consistent. And the Mets get to take advantage here in the top of the third in Chicago as Francisco Lindor hits number 30, 408 feet to left field. Fastball was just a bit too much of the plate. And there's Mr. St. Dennis, like I said, right on cue.
And I thought we were doing no hitter watch.
We're gonna do the show later. Still, I'm just going into it because I'm gonna go up till 7.
Well, the thing was, I thought we were doing
game watch. This is a big one. This is Pennant Race and Perfect Game Watch. But this is also having to deal with the Yankees, as the first out is recorded by Eric Lauer, who's now being visited on the mound by, I think, the pitching coach. So, Nathaniel Lowe strikes out swinging. That's 16 up and 16 down now for Boston. But you saw what I was talking about with the Yankees losing, right?
Yeah.
There's still a chance that if the Red Sox win this, I'm not saying they won't. I'm just saying if they win this and the Yankees lose, that closes the gap even further for the Yankees and the Red Sox in that aspect.
As for the division.
So they're going to their third pitcher of the evening. It's now Yariel Rodriguez.
As for the division, right? You're saying?
No, the division's done.
Oh, okay.
No,
you meant for the wild card.
Yeah, no, this is the wild card. But this would be the craziest thing. Let me get out of my Facebook here. But this would be the craziest part of it all. So, the division's been No, the division's not been decided yet.
Yeah, that's why I was asking about that.
So,
I'm not sure if the Red Sox, I know the Red Sox really want to clinch tonight, but are they?
They're only 3 back. They're 3 back. The Yankees are tied with Toronto right now. That's why I'm doing this now, because this ain't over.
Yeah.
It's not over yet. Division's not decided. This divisions get decided on the last day of the season all the time. That's why this is so much of a difference.
Yep.
Like you can never. This is why I said Boston has a 5-game magic number. You want to know? You know why I said that, right? Because there's the case of the division and the wild card. They can go either one or neither. But something else, because I don't want to jinx this.
Yeah.
But Detroit is now ahead 4-1, and they're in the 7th inning. Tim Herron came in, got 3. He walked 2. He ended up getting the final out in the 7th, and now they're in the bottom of the 7th. Tommy Canley came in to pitch for the Tigers, so now they're both in their bullpens. Canley's thrown an inning in the 3rd, but this is another one here where you have big implications because they're also fighting for the final wild card spot. If Boston wins tonight, Houston is out, but that means Boston is the 2nd wild card. That's what that means. Not the 3rd, the 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
So that means the only 2 that are left fighting are if the Tigers manage to hold off the Indians or the Guardians, whatever you want to call them. And then the Tigers are the division winners, and then the Guardians make it as the final wild card. So this could be a long 3-game series. The last 3 games. Go back to Toronto. So Ref Snyder goes down on strikes. He could have been called out on ball 1, but he had 17 up, 17 down, and now 18 in a row. Connor Wong grounds out 5-3. They head to the bottom of the 6th. 18 up, 18 down for the Blue Jays. Perfect game through 6.
Has there ever been a perfect game as a bullpen game?
As a combined, no. In the majors, no. The last time I watched one, the only time I've ever watched a perfect game was when it was Dallas Braden's back in 2010 on TV.
Uh-oh.
I've only seen one. But you see why I'm talking about what I'm talking about, because tomorrow the Tigers and Boston start a 3-game series to finish the season out.
Yep.
That's why it's all the more important that Boston clinches tonight so they don't have to worry about the Tigers coming to Fenway for the final 3 games of the season.
And I'll be there on Sunday.
Oh, you'll be there to catch the final game of the season.
Yep, seeing schoolboy pitch.
So I bet you're wondering why my setup looks different.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Yeah. My family got me something for my birthday. Couple things. They got me this nice desk. It's very, 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 very nice. And they got me this nice chair, too, that I'm sitting on right now. So I'm grateful.
Okay.
I'm very grateful I got this for my birthday. I really didn't want much, but they got me this nice desk and they got me this nice chair so I can lean back and know this doesn't fall over. It goes back a little bit and then back down, and that's it. I do have to go lay down after I use it, though, because my back's not used to stuff like that. On the bright side, here's the funny thing. Even though that the Red Sox are having a perfect game thrown against them right now, Brian Bayo has only allowed 3 hits, and he's only thrown 73 pitches through 5.
He's been pitching solid so far, not going on.
That's why I find this all the more amusing is he's throwing a shutout, and they're being shut out.
Yeah. That's why, if it happened, just imagine if a perfect game was going on at the end of the 10th inning, the Red Sox score because of that ghost winner. If they ever get a hit, but I don't know.
Well, there is, let's see. There's been one incident instance where it went so long,
Pedro
and
Martinez.
you can't write anything like this ever.
Pedro Martinez no hitter going to the 10th, and then it's gonna happen.
Well, there's only been one instance where a perfect game went farther than 9 innings. Besides Pedro, when he was with Montreal. His name was Harvey Haddix. It happened back in 1959 for Pittsburgh.
That's something Mad Dog Russo would say.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. But
1950s, that's crazy.
But back in 1959, Harvey Haddix had gone. He went through 9 innings perfect. He didn't give up a hit. He didn't give up a base runner. He did it on 78 pitches. He threw 3 more innings and didn't allow a base runner, on a base hit, on a walk, on an error, nothing.
Man.
And the Pirates went on to lose that game in the 13th inning.
Of course it's the Pirates.
So it was May 26, 1959, so 66 years ago now. It was against the Milwaukee Braves. He retired 36 in a row on a fastball and on a slider. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Lou Burdette was the opposing pitcher. He was throwing a shutout. And the Pirates got 3 straight singles in the 3rd inning, and they didn't get anything out of it. The Pirates in the 9th got a runner as far as 3rd base. And then the 10th, Dick Stewart came within a few feet of a 2-run homer to win the game, but they didn't get it there. And then finally, Haddix ended up losing the perfect game after a fielding error from their 3rd baseman, Dan Hoke, to lead off the bottom of the 13th. Then Mantilla ends up advancing to second base. And on a sacrifice bunt by Eddie Matthews, and then an intentional walk to Hank Aaron. So he's still got the no-hitter at this point. But Joe Adcock hits a home run. Unfortunately, Hank Aaron ended up passing Joe Adcock on the bases for the second out, and the Braves won 2-0. However, the hit was changed from a home run to a double by NL President Warren Giles, and ultimately Mantilla's run counted only, resulting in a 1-0 score, but the Pirates and Harry Haddix still lost. 12 2/3 of one-hit complete game baseball. Like, you can't do that any better. He did that.
Bello is getting tired now. 2 on his own.
Okay. So the Blue Jays have 2 on now. Story ends up throwing the ball away. E6 on Story. Barger walks. So that's the first error of any kind in this game. And Bayo is in real trouble, needing an out of any kind. Just nothing to score a run here. So the Yankees have 2 on in their game. They're trying to come back against Chicago. Still 4-1 in the Tiger game. Pitches taken low. No, pitch almost hit him, basically. I think it did hit him. I think that hit him right in the right leg, unless he moved out of the way, because the ball.
He got out of the way. I watched it on this TV.
Okay, so he got out of the way. So 1-0 count.
Yeah, I have it right here in front of me on the TV. Well, come on. And yes, Cora called the bullpen. I don't know who's warming up, but he did call it. Santander almost hit a homer, but it went down the right field foul pole and hit size the bat.
Okay, 2-1 now. He needs a ground ball to at least turn a double play here. At least.
That's all I can ask for.
Well, especially in this situation.
And yes, they have the roof open. I don't know how often they have the roof open in Toronto. If it's like for a Pacific temperature.
Okay, 2-2 count now. Strikeouts just as good as a double play right now. Anything to keep them off the board. Steps off. So there's a delay between the Phillies and the Marlins. The Phillies play somebody next week. I'm not sure. I'd have to double check. But the Marlins face the Mets, who are currently threatening again against Chicago and Mike Imanaga with 2 on and 1 out.
They played the Twins.
Okay, so they basically get a rollover for the playoffs. As another pitch is fouled at the plate.
A strikeout.
Here.
A strikeout, then a double play will be huge right here.
Well, he needs to keep them off base right now because he's already allowed back-to-back base runners. He needs a strikeout, and Santander he's a 180 hitter after hitting 42 home runs. I think it was 44 last season with Baltimore. So, and he's a career 2-for-14 hitter against Brian Bayo, including tonight. He was 1-for-12 against him previously, but now he's looking at a 2-for-14 with 2 strikeouts, including tonight.
Do you like the Rogers Center?
Huh?
Do you like the Rogers Center?
I don't normally watch them.
I meant like the stadium itself. No.
Oh, it's nice. They have that big elevator, I think. I think it's an elevator, but they have that, I'm not sure what it's called, but it's that big like Space Needle like structure. But it's nice. It's changed a lot since the early 90s. I think it became a stadium in the 1989, so it's 36 this year.
Oh, I hit him. God dang it.
And now he's loaded the bases. Either way, that was ball 4. So now Bayo has loaded the bases. He's hit 2. He's walked 2. No. Error, walk, hit by pitch. I think that's it for him. He made it through 5. He's given up 3 hits.
Cora is going up to the mound right now.
No. Now the bullpen's going to have to sort this one out
Alex
for him.
Cora is going to...
Well, honestly, this is a lot better than I'd expect him to pitch.
Yeah, I agree, but he just...
Because you can't walk either way, you can't walk the 180 hitter.
No, you can't.
The Yankees just took the lead in New York. A bases clearing double against Tyler Gilbert. So the inning started with a strikeout of Grisham, single by Judge, single by Bellinger. They took Davis Martin out. Gilbert walks Ben Rice, and then Giancarlo Stanton hits this vicious 109-mile-an-hour fastball off a cutter for an RBI double.
You know a pitcher out there that is really mad right now on not participating? Garrett Cole.
Well, if he actually had the ability to run to first base right now, I'm sure he would.
Yeah, after what happened last year, that's how they lost. But Garrett Cole, right, I could tell he is mad that he only pitched in spring training and didn't get a chance to pitch this year.
He was living a charmed life on the mound pitching for New York.
Yeah.
So the Mets have now taken a 6-0 lead. So that win by the Reds was massive, but now it means even more with the Mets taking a 6, making the Cubs look real bad.
Yeah.
So that was a 3-run homer by Brett Beatty, who's had suspect at bats at the plate, but that's a big 3-run homer for him. His average is up to 254, and that's RBIs number 48, 49, and 50. So back to the Red Sox game, and I will be right back. Justin Wilson is going to be the left-handed pitcher, and that's a fastball at the knees for strike 1. Okay, let me turn this off, and I will be right back.
All right.
Well, that's one way to not clinch your division. Justin Wilson comes in and gives up a grand slam home run to Alton Varsho. He had 2 strikes on the guy, and he throws him a fastball middle up in the zone. Grand slam.
This is why the Red Sox need to
Well,
get back on the offense, because
at this point, even I can't blame the guy. He threw a pitch that was up in the zone, and it was up in the hit me zone, and that was the biggest problem.
Yep.
Well, I had high hopes for this. Now they just have to not get perfectoed. It was on a pitch that was just up in the zone, and he just clocked it out to right center, and that's a short porch for them. He does eventually get the first out on a pitch that was nearly in the same spot, but they hit it to center field. So at least there's one out. And now there's another base hit as Jimenez is on. Boston is in a real deep hole now, down 4 runs. No base runners either. As that's
Pretty
a
much
double
over at
for
this.
Jimenez.
Pretty much over at this point late in the game.
Well, it's the 6th inning, and they're facing a bullpen game, so it's now 6-1 over in Chicago. Seiya Suzuki gets a changeup that hung, and it's now a 6-1 ball game. He launched that one out to left center, 434 feet. So that's 5-run lead now for them. Over in New York, the Yankees have allowed a base runner. Unfortunately, the White Sox do what the White Sox do. Montgomery doubles and then ground ball to the shortstop, and Colson Montgomery is thrown out on the way to third. And then Miguel Vargas hits one to center. Unfortunately, Grisham is there for the second out. So Rendon is looking like he'll be off the hook now unless Teal gets the next runner in.
Yep.
Meanwhile, we are not done here over in Cleveland. Austin Hedges, the normal catcher, I believe. No, he's the backup catcher behind Bo Naylor, leads off the inning with a single. Kwan lines out. Jonathan Rodriguez comes in. Finnegan replaces Holton. And then Rodriguez doesn't even get his name announced. Sneeman comes up, and he grounds out 3 unassisted to the first baseman. And then the 30-40 man, Jose Ramirez, hits his 34th double off Finnegan, who was acquired from the Nationals earlier this season from the Nationals in a trade deadline, gives him a splitter, and he launches it to center field over Meadows' head. So now Manzardo, being the tying run at the plate, could tie it here and send Cleveland into a frenzy. He strikes out to end the frame. So give Cleveland credit. They fought back and they got a run back on the board. They head to the 9th in Cleveland, 4-2 Detroit.
Yep.
What is going on in Philly? They've been on a delay for the last God knows how long, unless the skies opened up. It had to have started raining. Oh, it did start raining. Yeah, it started raining in Philadelphia. Not a good time.
That's not
not
good
a
for the
good time
fans.
for them to have it start raining like that.
Not good for the fans either, who spent all that money.
Yeah, it just changed status change, delayed rain. So the White Sox are out in the 6th. Teal ends up getting being the final out on a strikeout on 3 pitches. And they all just kept going further and further outside. He threw them 3 sliders. All 3 of them were outside. None of them were one in the middle. The other one wasn't going to be a strike. And the last one just fell right off the table. So Rendon, presumably done after 6. And now back to Toronto, where Heineman flies out to center. Zach Kelly is in after Wilson gives up a grand slam, gets a fly out, then double. Zach Kelly comes in and gets a line out. And now Springer's up, down to a 1-2 count. Fouled at the plate. So that means a lot now, specifically now with the ramifications of what's going on.
Yep.
Because that wild card race has gotten that much tighter, because now with a Cleveland loss, that means the Tigers and Guardians are tied once again for the division with 3 to play. The Astros are still in it with a Boston loss. So that means the games in Anaheim now do matter unless Boston comes back, which they need to do something if they want that champagne that they've been waiting to drink the entire weekend.
Or at least a toast.
Well, that whole thing in Sacramento today where Houston ended up dropping 11 on them. They are emptying their bench, and this will be each team I think has got yes. So Allard's the fourth pitcher for Cleveland. Tigers have gone through 5. Finnegan was pitcher number 5. So 9 pitchers between the two teams. If it gets to that point, Rogers can come into the game and catch because Kerry Carpenter was in to play. He was in as the DH, and then they just pinch hit for him. Torres and Perez.
Troy Springer just hit a home run.
So it's now 5-0.
6-0.
6. Oh, brother. When it goes from bad to worse. Quite literally, when it rains, it's pouring for Boston. And they've now got a 3-game set, a rendezvous with destiny, as it would be, with Detroit. So this could come down to one of two things. This could be a good thing for Boston. This could be a bad thing. If they beat Detroit tomorrow on Apple TV, that means Detroit has to worry about Cleveland winning the next day or winning their matchup against whoever.
That's what the Red Sox need to worry about?
They have to win to clinch.
Yeah.
So if they beat Detroit tomorrow, they clinch. Cleveland finishes out their season against Texas, who can easily handle them if they need to.
Yeah.
But currently, the tiebreaker is between Detroit and Cleveland, and I think Cleveland has the tiebreaker over Houston right now, so whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
Okay. We've now reached the point, not of no return for Boston, but 18 up, 18 down for Boston. And they just let Toronto drop a 6th spot on their heads. A third of their lineup is struck out.
You know what gets me thinking? I think they don't want the Yankees to win the division, and that's why maybe they're acting like this, but at the same time they want to get to the postseason. Of course they're not gonna bet on themselves, but you see what I'm saying?
Well, the Yankees took the lead back in New York. Toronto's currently winning. And now, with everything going on, Miles Straw has been brought in to replace Anthony Santander, who was hit by a pitch in that last inning. So they did that as a precaution. Braden Fisher, right-hander, is coming in to face Jarren Duran.
But you know what I'm saying, right? As for the on purpose thing.
Well, this would be the latest in the season a perfect game's been thrown.
I just don't know if the Red Sox are doing this to avoid the Yankees winning the division. Like that's like the Yankees are rooting for the Red Sox because the Yankees want to win the division, but at the same time, I know in the Red Sox heart that they also want to win the division. But
I don't know.
Oh, Durant got a base hit. Thank God.
And the perfect game has been broken up on the first pitch on the top of the 7th inning.
Thank God. Jesus.
It is a double for Duran.
A double?
Yes. It shows him at second base.
Thank God for Duran. Jeez.
So there's a runner at second base. That is his 40th double on the season. And now Trevor Story steps up with the 3, 4, 5 hitters after him. So his history will have to wait another day. And there's another no-hitter watch gone down by the wayside.
The 40th double of the year for Duran.
I don't think anyone's come close to 50 doubles, but there's 2 outs now in that Tiger Guardian game.
What about Ricky Henderson back in the day? Did he?
I don't think he ever had a 50 double season, to be honest with you. I've been wrong.
Well, the Red Sox are on the board 6-1 thanks to Story.
So Duran scores, Story up on first. Now it's a 5-run lead.
Yeah.
So now Bregman steps up. He's 0 for 2. He's looking to add on here. Let me answer your question real quick. Ricky Henderson, baseball reference. Because I'm sure he had a 50 steal season. Not 50 steals. 50 home run. No. 50 double season. Never.
Wow.
He never had a season where he had 40 doubles.
Well,
and here's
I'm stopped. I'm stopped because he was a leadoff hitter.
Well, he always got on base.
That's
he
what
had
I'm saying.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 seasons where he walked 100 times or more.
Oh my God.
And he had more seasons where he struck out fewer times than he walked.
Huh.
He struck out once in one season. He struck out 100 times his entire career. And that was the year he led the league in walks and steals. He struck out 114 times at 39 years old. Never had a 100 RBI season, but the most home runs he had in a year was 28, and he did that twice.
Yep.
He never had a double-digit triple season either, so you learn something new every day.
Maybe Willie Mays did.
Well, Willie Mays had to have, based off how many, he had a lot of home runs. I know he did.
Yeah.
But I think because there's only been one instance of a 50-50 season, and by 50-50 I mean home runs and doubles. But no, he had 43 in a season as his highest total, but never 50. He had 50 home runs twice, but the year he had 13 triples, he only had 18 doubles.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had 51 home runs. That was his second highest total. And then one year he had 141 RBIs, just casual, and he didn't even win MVP that year.
Yep.
Finished just short of 3,300 hits, too, so not too bad. So unfortunately, Bregman does ground into a double play, so that's a little steam out of that rally. 2-0 count on Yoshida. The Yankees just loaded the bases in New York, looking to get some insurance. And we head to the bottom of the ninth now in Cleveland with the Tigers leading 4-2. Michael Busch grounds out back to the mound, but it is now a 4-run game. As Dansby Swanson cuts the lead to 4 with a solo home run. So that's in Chicago. I'm curious how this is going to end in Detroit, that's all. So they couldn't get anything else on the board. Will Vest, the 6th pitcher, I think now, for Detroit, Yeah. It's gone Melton 3 2/3, Herter inning in a third, Canely 1 1/3, Holton 1 inning, Finnegan 2/3 of an inning, and now Will Vest. Strike one to Gabriel Arias, who was 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Because that's a big series. Because I don't know who Cleveland faces the last 3 games, but they can only lose one more game if Cleveland's going to make this close. But the biggest issue is, as there's 2 more pitches, fastball off the plate, ball 1, and a sinker in at the knees, fouled away. But the biggest issue I see is this. Boston has to come back and win this one. That's the best outcome they could have right now, is they win this game. Fastball outside off the corner. As the Yankees do not get anybody else in, and the White Sox keep them off the board. As Ben Rice flies out to the left, short porch in the left, only 308 feet on the fly ball. So Volpe strikes out. McMahon gets hit by a pitch, wild pitch. Excuse me. Grisham lines out. Intentional walk of Aaron Judge. Bellinger walks again. Mound visit, and then Rice flies out to left. So Rendon is out of the game, or Carlos Rodon is out of the game after 6 innings, 82 pitches, 54 strikes. So it's Taylor, Jokes, and Derek Hill. So those 3 batters, 8, 9, and 7, 8, 9 for the White Sox. 1 out now in the 9th inning in Detroit. Runner on base for the Red Sox in the top of the 7th. And Braden Fisher is now out of the game after a Yoshida walk. He walked him on 4 straight. Sir Anthony Dominguez, the former Oriole, is now in the game. Throws 2 pitches that aren't even close. And Romy Gonzalez swings at a fastball at the knees, and now it's 2-1. Red Sox need base runners. They may want to pitch hit for Connor Wong as it gets later in the game, because Narvaez is on the bench and could provide some well-needed power. As there's a strike on the inside edge, it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to the number 5 hitter in the Red Sox lineup. And that's pitch that's almost to the screen. That's ball 3. 2 outs now in the Guardian 9th inning. 1 out in the Cubs Mets game, top of the 6th. Cubs cut the lead to 4. Red Sox looking to get another base runner here at least, with Rafael on deck. And that pitch would have been strike 3, except it's fouled off to the left and out of play. Runner on first with 2 outs. 3-2 count. Runner on first, Yoshida will be running. Gonzalez hitting .307, and Dominguez is going to step off. Yoshida is not the fleetest of foot. And Gonzalez swing and a miss. Fastball 97. We head to the stretch, 6-1 Toronto. And the Guardians lose Game 3 as Naylor pinch hits and strikes out swinging. through game 159, the Indians and the Tigers are tied for the division crown. I told you it wasn't going to end. The Guardians and the Tigers are tied.
Oh, it just ended? Okay.
Yeah, in the division. So now Houston is still in it. Boston is down 5. Man, they know how to make a good soda. But there's still other games going on.
Boston is down what you were saying?
Down 5, heading to the stretch. So the Angels and the Royals are getting set up. And another one we're going to keep an eye on is when the Mariner game comes on. I want to see if Raleigh hits any more home runs. He's 1 away from tying Roger Maris. 2 away from tying Aaron Judge. 3 away from the Major League's new American League record.
Yeah. If you're at the Red Sox right now, watching the Yankees possibly winning the AL East if the Blue Jays lose tonight, are you wanting to clinch tonight and just forget about the AL East, or are you trying to win the division and lose tonight instead?
If they had been playing better recently, that'd have been a different story. But that's their biggest issue is the offense has been quiet at the worst times this season, it seems like.
Yeah.
Because let me see here. There's 3 games left between the Tigers and the Red Sox. 4 o'clock tomorrow, 1 o'clock on Saturday, and then 12:05 on Sunday.
Yep.
They don't lose that game to the Rays on Sunday, I'd say they were going to be fine. But losing 2 out of 3 to the Athletics last week, that was a big mistake. They only hurt themselves.
I really wish the A's won tonight, but I really hope the Angels win at least one of these next 3 games.
Well, there is life in Cleveland, Ohio, Mr. Salisbury. There is life.
There's life in Cleveland, Ohio?
Yes. The Reds won today. They beat the Pirates. The Mets are beating Chicago, and the Diamondbacks lost.
Yes, the Mets are beating Chicago 6-2, and it's sad right now.
It's fine for right now, but the big thing is the Red Sox aren't going to be no-hit tonight.
Well, that's a plus for my friend over there.
Well, here's the thing. When I started talking about this, I didn't even realize there had been a perfect game being thrown against them until I saw the box score.
Yeah.
It was 0-0, and then Brian Bayo loads the bases. The Red Sox bring in a left-handed reliever. 3 pitches later, it's 4-0. Another pitcher later, it's 6-0. Now it's 6-1 heading to the bottom of the 7th inning.
Oh boy. Well, at least they're not going to get no hit, David.
Thank God.
Well, I think this will be the first season in a couple of years that there's not going to be a no-hitter.
Really? Wow.
I don't know. Last season without a no-hitter. 2005. So 20 years. 2005 was the last no-hitter. So when I was still in elementary school, that was the last time there was not a no-hitter.
Well,
oh, Joey, you say that I'm showing my age now. Jesus Christ, I'm old.
Don't forget me as well. Like, I didn't even start school.
You were a year old. You were a year old. You're not old.
He was 2 years old.
Oh, he was born in 2003. That's right.
Right? Yes. Yeah.
So he was 2.
So you were still walking around in diapers, David. So
Yeah, he was waving his Red Sox flag in his Huggies. I know. But
I don't know if they were still a thing back then.
okay.
I would bet your mom's got a picture somewhere of you waving a Red Sox
No.
flag when you were a little kid.
No, I mean, I don't know if those were still a thing back then because, no.
So the weird thing is when I went to Savers the other day, and they are expensive. I've learned they blow certain places out of the water when it comes to their prices, and not in a good way. I was looking at this microphone, but I decided I didn't need it. It was only $14, but I didn't want to know what the quality of it was. That was the biggest issue.
Okay.
But it was only $14. It was one of those blue microphones, the ones that are normally really expensive, but I'm just like, I don't need a microphone. I'm loud enough.
I've heard good things about those. I haven't tried one, but I've heard good things.
Yeah. So, no hitters. Several pitchers have come close. Yeah, but that was the funny part. Even the 2020 season, 2 no-hitters that season. So, it's been 20 years. So that'll be interesting. But the Yankees are still looking to get the division crown. I don't think that game is ever going to get finished in Philadelphia, though. It's pouring there. Like, it's bad.
Yeah, they're getting some bad rain on the East Coast right now.
That's why I'm surprised the Yankee game's still going on. Blue Jays have 2 outs in the 7th. The Mets are currently threatening with a runner on first and second and 2 outs. But I'm not worried about those games. I'm worried about that 6:40 game. I want to see Raleigh at least attempt to go after the record.
Yeah, he's doing excellent.
Well, it's like we talked about way back in March and April, like five months ago now. That torpedo bat has done him wonders. Because way back in April, he was not hitting at all. And now all of a sudden, he's just turned into Babe Ruth. He tied Babe Ruth's old record with 6. So,
are we sure he's not using PEDs?
I mean, he quoted Major League last night. So he said, "Let's go win the whole bleeping thing." I would not have a problem with that. I would love for one, because not to pull Johnny's leg here, but Seattle is the only team to never go to the World Series. Every other team
they need a turn.
I think they can. It's just that their pitching is kind of weak. That's my biggest issue, is the weak pitching.
Joey, you want to talk about the cost of groceries? I stopped by the store on my way home from seeing Mom at the hospital, and I literally bought a loaf of bread, some salad dressing, dishwashing detergent, a bottle of Coke for myself, and I think one other item, and it was $63.
The detergent was probably the most expensive. It was probably at least $21.
22, and that was the one that was on sale.
See, people call me cheap, but I ended up getting 3 cases of water the other day for $9, and that was before the CRV, which is 5 cents here, by the way.
That's not cheap. Well, that's being frugal.
Well, 3 for $8.99. It's 24 bottles each one. That's 72 bottles of water for $8.99, and then you add in the additional $3.60. That's
tax, yeah.
That's less than the whole thing of freaking laundry detergent. So it looks like the Mets did catch on here with 2 more runs, and the Yankees do have someone on base. They got the Martian at first base, pinch running for Stanton, and the Detroit. I keep saying Detroit, but that's all the scores after everything that's gone on today. But
check the private chat real quick.
Let me see.
David, you look very comfortable. What are you wearing there?
Yeah. No, we will. We will.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that we all get prepared. But well, I know you're disappointed with the Cubs choice, but if I were in your shoes, I'll be happy to go to the postseason at the very least because
they're not going to
look at the Angels for example. They haven't gone to the postseason 10 years. If they went to the postseason, they'll be throwing the parade.
They ain't going to last long in the postseason. They don't pick up their offense. Their
that
defense
seems to be the biggest thing here is teams are not hitting the ball heading into the postseason.
Their defense tonight is awesome.
You know why?
Ian Happ's got a lot of good catches. Pete Crow Armstrong's doing PCA things again, but nobody's hitting the ball. I don't care who it is. Nobody's hitting the ball.
I think there's two reasons. One, the pressure, this time of year, and two, the temperature.
I don't know. It's 75 up here in Chicago.
Oh, okay.
And that's where they are. So
okay, I thought it was like
let's say no. Well, now it's.
I thought it was like April weather because
now my thing says 62, so it must have dropped. Well, the sun's gone down too, though. So I mean, but it was 75 at start of game time.
Yeah. Okay. So, is there any other changes before I cut us off here? Any other ones? Besides the Yankees having a runner on second base, there's nothing to go over. So I'm going to cut that down so that way we can move on to the other recording. But that was just basically the Red Sox. They're up in the top of the eighth with no one on.
Yeah. What they need right now is to get in. They need to win to get in, or a Astros loss. But
yeah, it was an Astros loss or a Red Sox win, and that was it. So all the Astros had to do was lay down and die today, but they said, nah.
Not today.
Well, that's just it. Houston is stuck behind either Detroit or Cleveland right now, and it doesn't matter. The Yankees are trying to win the division. The Mariners are second right now. The Mariners won their division for the first time in 25 years. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, for Johnny it matters, but still.
Yeah, for Johnny it matters.
I mean, the Dodgers won the division. Whoa-ho.
Yeah.
Dodgers are so overrated. I don't even...
Well, with their lowest win total in what? More than a decade?
Yeah.
I looked at that this morning.
This has not been a good year for the Dodgers. As for
I hate to say it, but if Ohtani pitches in the playoffs and he hurts himself again, that's on Dave Roberts.
Yeah, it is.
Because that will make me think instantaneously of you're bringing a guy back. Yes, he's pitched 6 innings as his longest outing, but how long of a leash are you going to give this guy after you just said, oh, he's not going to pitch?
Yeah.
He's not going to pitch much.
Yeah,
but they had Kershaw out of the bullpen, and that's fine because Kershaw's got a rubber arm. He's going to retire at the end of the season. Let him go as long as you think he can go.
Yeah, he could start him if you wanted to.
I prefer him out of the bullpen here instead of starting. That ace in the hole, that left-hander who is wily and has all that experience, bring him out of the bullpen.
Yeah, and let's not forget the struggles he's had in the postseason as a starter.
I think this is his. I don't think this is his Michael Jackson with the Wizards story arc. Michael Jordan. I'm sorry. I said the wrong name. I'm just like that came out, and I'm like, wait a minute.
I'd actually sit and think about that when I go. Well, what was it today?
I was gonna say that would have been something. Michael Jackson playing for the Wizards. It's just like what happened. It's just like, well, you set the record for most. What is it? Damn it! I don't really know basketball. No, it's the traveling. He set the record for traveling calls because he moonwalked. It's just like that's 3 steps. That's not 3 steps.
By the way, nobody watches NBA much anymore.
No.
Not
because
because it's sport.
it's not the
Because it's not
NBA
good
anymore.
anymore.
The
Every other referee is constantly scared of the big guy that's just going to put his hand in their face.
College basketball is better than the NBA.
Well, of course it is. College basketball actually has people running into each other still.
You know what I
But-
miss in the NBA with the coaches? They don't wear suits anymore. Like
No,
back in the 90s. Now they wear like jogging pants and the pullovers, and it's like, what are you in
No.
a what are you in a gym?
it used to be suits made the coach.
Exactly.
I'll see you guys on the other side. I'm
All
going
right.
to cut this off here, but thank you guys for coming on. And we'll be on we'll be on at 7.
Oakley dokley.
There's the link for the
Okay,
recording.
I'll cut off the live stream then.
All right.
Yes.
I'll head over to the other link.
Yes. Yep, this isn't a private chat.
What's that?